Hello, this is Movies in Short. I will describe the American film Blast from the Past. The film takes place in 1962, when the United States and the Soviet Union are at loggerheads. There is a widespread belief in the United States that the Soviet Union would soon detonate a nuclear weapon, causing many citizens to construct secret bunkers in their homes. Dr. Calvin Weber, an eccentric scientist, is one of these citizens, and after months of labor, he has constructed a fallout bunker in his garden with all the amenities necessary to survive a nuclear war. One day, Calvin hosts a party at his home and invites a number of his coworkers. While everyone is having fun, President Kennedy declares on live television that a secret mission against the Soviets is being planned. This terrifies Calvin, and he anticipates that the conflict will soon commence. Therefore, he dismisses all the guests and dashes to his secret bunker with his pregnant wife, Helen. Simultaneously, an aircraft flying above the city encounters a mechanical malfunction. It crashes directly into Calvin's residence, completely demolishing it. Inside the bunker, Calvin deduces that the nuclear war has commenced and seals the door immediately. Then, he informs his wife that the door will not open until 35 years have passed, as it takes the same amount of time for radioactive particles to return to normal levels in the environment. Neighbors and authorities think the Webers perished in the incident, given that their home was entirely destroyed. Now, the pair is adjusting to life inside the bunker with each passing day. Helen is uneasy and constantly concerned about her family and friends, but Calvin is at ease. Helen's water breaks and she gives birth to a son one day. The couple is overjoyed to have a son, whom they name Adam. In the next scene, we get a better look at their bunker. It has enough supplies to survive for 35 years, including a fish tank, fuel, a comfortable lounge space, and a well-stocked convenience store. As time passes, Calvin educates his son at home and teaches him about American history. He hopes that his son will one day revive the country to its former glory. The film then jumps ahead to the summer of 1965, when a crew of construction workers clears Calvin's devastated land and constructs a diner. 10 years have passed, and it is now the autumn of 1975. Adam has developed into a considerate and generous young man who enjoys spending time with his parents. He receives frequent boxing instruction from his father and ballet instruction from his mother. In the interim, the diner transforms into a pizzeria and then a nightclub. Calvin continues to instruct his son on numerous topics in the basement. He explains the stock market and provides French and Latin classes. During their conversation, Calvin praises his son's hilarious sense of humor. One day, Calvin presents Adam with a collection of his baseball cards and explains sports to him. Calvin and Helen celebrate their son's 33rd birthday during the summer of 1995. Now that Adam is an adult, he wishes to find a companion. In 1997, the bunker has attained its full maturity. Finally, after 35 years, the bunker's door automatically unlocks, and the family rushes to investigate with excitement. Since they are unaware of the current state of the outside world, Calvin insists that they wait until nightfall and let him check first. Above the bunker, the restaurant has become a refuge for beggars. While the beggars are drinking, the ground suddenly begins to shake, and they mistake it for an earthquake. However, it turns out that Calvin has reached the surface while wearing a radiation suit, and upon seeing him, one of the beggars passes out. Following this, Calvin explores his former neighborhood, only to discover that it has undergone significant transformation. He witnesses individuals jokingly waving firearms at him and stumbles onto an adult video business. Concerned by the fact that his neighborhood has deteriorated, he returns to the bunker. At the dinner table, he informs his family that although the ground above is still breathable, it has become a radioactive mutant wasteland. Consequently, they must continue to live underground. Helen, who is bored of living in the bunker at this time, begins to argue. She says that regardless of the people above, she wants Adam to see the blue skies, touch the waters, and explore the mountains. Calvin insists they remain underground despite the rousing speech, but while debating, he suffers a heart attack. In light of dwindling supplies and Calvin's deteriorating health, Helen instructs Adam to go outside and acquire the necessities for approximately 2 years. She gives him a grocery list and tells him it would be fantastic if he could locate a girl who is not a mutant. Before departing, Calvin warns Adam not to enter the pornographic film store, stating that it contains dangerous levels of radiation. Actually, he is only attempting to shield his youngster from offensive language. Adam eventually packs his backpack and exits the bunker for the first time. On the surface, he encounters Melker, the beggar who met his father the previous evening. While Adam is fascinated by the outer world, Melker begins to adore Calvin and the elevator through which he and Adam escaped. Melker views them as divine forces that have intervened in his life to alter his destiny. In the meantime, Adam sees the blue sky for the first time and waves to the individuals he encounters on the streets. He is shocked to find a woman of color and enthusiastically greets her. Next, he discovers the pornographic movie store about which his father had told him, so he hurriedly plugs his nose and advises others to do the same. Later, Adam boards a bus, but he is terrified by the sensation of motion. The manner in which he expresses himself is in accordance with his academic training, yet it does not appear to be compatible with everyday life. The passengers on the bus believe he is insane, and the bus driver also gives him an odd look. Adam eventually arrives at a grocery store and strolls around to collect the items his mother had requested. When he goes to purchase meat, the butcher informs him that if he places a larger order, it will be delivered directly to his residence. Adam understands upon hearing the word home that he has forgotten how to return to his bunker. Concerned, he anxiously searches the city for the site of his bunker, but finds no trace of it. Nearing the end of his funds, he attempts to sell his father's vintage baseball cards to a hobby shop. The shopkeeper determines that Adam is insane for attempting to sell the cards for such a low price, so he offers to purchase the entire pack for $500. Eve, the shop's helper, then approaches them and prevents the proprietor from cheating. She informs Adam that each of his cards is worth at least $6,000 due to their rarity. She then insults her boss and quits her job immediately. Upon observing all of this, Adam is quickly smitten with her. As instructed by his mother, upon exiting the store he begs Eve to drive him to the Holiday Inn restaurant. Eve initially refuses, but agrees when Adam offers to give her 2 cards in exchange. As soon as they get at the hotel, Eve leaves before Adam can say anything. The following morning, Adam receives a phone call from Eve, who requests his presence in the lounge. As it turns out, she has come to return his card because she feels terrible. After returning the card, she attempts to leave, but Adam begs her to assist him in purchasing supplies for $1,000 a week. Eve agrees, and they purchase truckloads of goods since Adam must ensure that the provisions will last at least 2 years. Later, he also seeks Eve for assistance in finding a non-mutant wife. In the following scene, Adam meets Eve's gay roommate and best friend, Troy, who is quite inquisitive. He inquires about Adam's hometown, to which the latter responds that he is from Alaska and is in town on business. Later, Eve and Troy give Adam a makeover in the fashion department and take him skating. Next, Adam experiences the ocean for the first time, and he dives into the water with excitement and delight. In addition, he attends a baseball game and exclaims with delight that he finally understands what his father was talking about. One day, it begins to rain, and Adam experiences rain for the very first time. Adam resists Eve's urgings to return to the house because he wishes to continue experiencing the sensation. He embraces Eve tightly out of nowhere, signifying that he is enjoying life in the real world. Eve and Troy accompany Adam to a 1940s swing-style nightclub later that evening in order to find him a wife. They urge him to approach women while remaining true to himself. Adam draws the interest of a number of women, including Eve's adversary Sophie. When he begins to get along with Sophie, Eve becomes uncomfortable and leads Adam away to a table. Shen then suggests that he look for a sweet female rather than Sophie. Adam approaches a girl after some time, and they quickly become friends when he invites her to dance. As a result of years of practice in the bunker, Adam captivates the audience with his excellent dance talents in no time. In the meantime, a jealous Eve reconnects with her ex-boyfriend, who provokes a fight with Adam. However, he quickly regrets his decision as Adam exhibits his boxing abilities, having trained daily with his father in the bunker. Eve becomes annoyed by the hubbub and chooses to abandon Adam and return home. Troy subsequently enters and informs Eve that Adam has left the club with Sophie. Eve storms out of the home and into her car to retrieve Adam after hearing this. Just as she is about to go, Adam abruptly knocks on the door, shocking her to her core. Adam then explains that he gently rejected Sophie since he could only think of Eve upon their return home. He then declares his love for her, and they finally embrace. Now that Eve is on his side, he resolves to reveal his past to her. He confesses that he and his family lived in a fallout bunker for 35 years and are now experiencing the outside world for the first time. He also professes his wish to marry Eve and bring her to the bunker so they can enjoy a happy life together. However, Eve believes he is insane and requests that he leave. The following day, while learning to drive a truck with Troy, Adam eventually discovers the location of his bunker after spotting the pornographic film store from earlier. He rushes back to Eve's house to inform her of his discovery, but 2 psychiatrists are waiting for him there. Adam first cooperates, but then flees after providing Eve and Troy the hotel room key. He requests that they collect all of the cards and pay his hotel bill before leaving in a truck. Later, Troy and Eve approach Adam's hotel room and discover 1960s-era clothing, toothpaste, and other belongings. They also discover some precious stock certificates belonging to Adam's father that are now worth millions of dollars. This leads them to the conclusion that Adam is not insane and was telling the truth the entire time. In the interim, Adam returns home after spending 2 weeks in the outside world. He embraces his parents and describes how beautiful the world has become. Melker and his friends soon assist Adam in loading supplies into the bunker. However, Eve and Troy are unsuccessful in locating Adam's underground bunker. Eve encounters Adam outside of the adult video store as they return home late at night. She instantly yells out his name before exiting the vehicle. They embrace and kiss, and then Adam introduces her to his parents. Calvin and Helen are impressed with Eve, but Adam requests that his father wait 2 months while he makes outside arrangements. During this period, Adam and Eve sell the stocks in order to establish a new, identical home in the country. They intend to gradually bring Calvin and Helen to the surface and begin a new life with them. A few months later, Adam's parents move into their new home. They are astounded by how much their son has done for them. Adam tells his father that there was never an atomic war and that the bomb was actually a plane that crashed into their house, while Helen and Eve prepare dinner for the family. In addition, he shows that the Soviet Union fell without a war. Calvin, though, is skeptical and mocks his son's revelation. The film concludes with Calvin planning to construct a new fallout shelter while Eve looks from the kitchen window while playing with her engagement ring.
Subscribe for similar content, enable notifications, and like the video to help the channel. Thank you for watching.